Anyway, man, let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Tricksters podcast. Me and John been goofing off a little bit. We're going to hit you guys with a couple of things. I've got some of my notes here, but we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL draft, some recaps, some things that I like to see. Maybe we can get into predictions, but it's a little too early in my opinion. Happy that everything is over with that. Now all we have is the NBA. That's all we got now. You know, the NFL draft, the combine, all the talk and chatter, the mock drafts, it was fun. Now it's just basketball, and it's sad because my Celtics lost today. Giannis gave us the business. Why, bro? Why you got to do me like this? Because you don't even like Giannis.
I don't. But
what's up?
You do it to me. You do it to me, so I take joy in your pain.
I don't do it to the Dolphins, but I do it to everybody else you like.
I don't like anybody else.
Bama.
You can't usually can't.
Well, all right. Let's just start the episode. Because I don't like how you're coming off, man. You're a little too smug, bro.
I mean, I've earned this right.
I guess. No, I don't. Anyway, we won't get into that.
I'm not one of them. I remember losing seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were there before that. You were there with Shula. Yeah.
I've earned this.
A lot of these fans don't even know who Mike Shula is. So
I'm on the downhill side of the roller coaster, my hands up, having a grand old time.
Well, it's been a long ride.
Has been a long ride.
And we don't know when it's going to end, but I want to get into the college side of things because we did see a lot of players leave, and whenever that happens, we're happy about the NFL. We're excited, but it's like, what's going to happen to these college teams that lost all this talent? So we'll see, but I won't get into that. But just a quick wrap up with the NBA. Both home teams lost today. Both were 2 seeds. Crazy. The Grizzlies lost. Celtics lost. The way the Celtics lost is honestly depressing. They underperformed, but so did the Bucks. And the Bucks still just they never looked flustered at any point. I know they just came off a championship last year, but they got that bounce. So we'll see how that goes. And then we've got Dallas and who's the other team? The Suns.
Phoenix.
Yes, Phoenix. I don't care about the West. And then you got Philly with no Embiid and the Heat. So we won't be talking too much about basketball because when my team's losing, I'm not excited anyway. And then there's nothing else to be excited about. So with that said, that's the basketball update. So getting back to the draft, man, I'm going to run through a couple of these. Now, I'm going to just talk about players. I'm not going to just sit here and do an analysis of every team. But shout out to Troy Anderson, who went in the second round. I figured he would. There are some guys that were so high on praising him, thinking he would go in round 1. I didn't see that. But going to Atlanta may be his best situation. Let me tell you why. It's not about winning for linebackers. It's about where you can shine. And there he is going to stick out like a sore thumb. Why? Because they don't have anything else. So literally anything he does is going to be good. They don't have a pass rush outside of Garrett. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think they have anything else.
Grady Jarrett,
yeah. And then
They stink out loud.
They do. And to make the stink even worse, not only did they go with Drake London, who I think will be a bust, and I'm okay with being wrong because he's a young man that's trying to, live life, earn some money. I'm not hating on the guy, but I just don't think he's that good. And then they topped that by getting Desmond Ridder to throw to him. Can't comprehend that. So, you know what? Hey, man, because even if you didn't know who Desmond Ridder was and you went and watched Alec Pierce's highlights from college, you saw a lot of short throws, a lot of throws that just were in bad places behind him on a slant. Like you saw a lot of that on his highlights. So I don't know what they're going to do with him, man. Atlanta's just being Atlanta, man. So I was very happy to see Troy Anderson go in the second round, though. We've already talked a little bit about Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Lindenbaugh going to the Ravens. I think the Ravens did really well. And James Cook, bro, I know it was day 2, but I talked on last episode about Isaiah Spiller probably going to the Bills because that would be a great situation for him. Why? Because he can catch the ball. Clearly, the Bills are not interested in running the ball. They're not interested in ground and pound at all. They could if they wanted to, but when you got a guy like Josh Allen, you're going to throw the ball. And so them getting James Cook is an even better option than Isaiah Spiller. Difference in height a little bit, but much faster, and they both catch it out of the backfield really well and run routes. So I was very happy to see that, man. Is there anything else you saw? I'm going to go through some others, but.
Tyndall went to the Dolphins, and that's big.
Yes, it is.
For us not to have like hardly any picks to get a solid pick like that in the draft where we have like 3 picks.
Yeah.
That to be one of your 3 picks, that's a good pick.
And honestly, bro, y'all got everything you needed offensively before the draft. You know, getting Armstead, getting Tyreek Hill. You still got Jalen Waddle there. You know, Tua is going to be healthy. You got 2 running backs in Mostert, and who was the other one?
Chase Edmonds.
Man. Y'all got a lot going on. I'm happy about that. And some of y'all got Tyndall. I was like, you don't need a linebacker, but that's the guy you draft if you don't necessarily need a linebacker. And
if he's still there, I was looking at it earlier. I think Mel Kiper was the one saying it. He's like, that dude I thought would be gone like 50 picks ago. So for them to pick him up, that's really good at this point in the draft.
Georgia, because they had a defensive lineman go in the second round, I want to say, outside of Jordan Davis. Who's the other guy?
I don't remember his name, but Wyatt, I think.
Yeah, that's who it is. And he looked good, but Tyndall, as well as, you know, Quay Walker, they saw what I saw in Green Bay. He went first round. But I was telling you during our top 5 episodes of each individual, you know, position, that Quay was one of those guys that gets hidden in that defense that does a lot that does not show up. Because Nakobe had stats. Trayvon Walker, not necessarily on the sack side, but he got a lot of attention. But just like I told you about Christian Harris and Toa did a lot of things that didn't show up on paper that made Christian look good. And I think that it was a flip side where Toa is a better linebacker. That's how I feel about Tyndall. That's how I feel about Quay Walker. We're not necessarily they're just flat out better than Nakobe Dean and Trayvon Walker. But they did a lot of good things in that defense that it's like, I think he's better than what – because sometimes the media takes a guy's name and they roll with it, bro. I promise you they do. And they just choose favorites. But we'll see. We'll see. But I like Tyndall to you guys.
Yeah, just more speed at linebacker. So you can put Jalen Phillips on one side and him on the other. And then they've also got Van Ginkel, and Van Ginkel's been solid too. So,
Yeah.
But really the draft, who was it? Oh, the Steelers. The Steelers got George Pickens and Calvin Austin. So
they got Kenny Pickett, Calvin Austin the third, and he was in my top 5. You'll see why, especially there. Oh, he's going to shine in Pittsburgh's offense. And then George Pickens, who I like him. We talked about him. Great player, but he's just got to stay healthy. That's really all it is. He can run. He can block. He can do everything my top 5 guys can do. He's just got to stay healthy. That's really all it is there. But I liked it, man. I liked it. I'm looking at the Broncos. I don't see anything there to talk about.
But they picked up Christopher Allen. They picked up Christopher Allen as an undrafted free agent. He started for Alabama week 1, but he tore his ACL and missed the whole season. But for them to get him as an undrafted free agent, be careful.
Might be a steal, right?
I mean, he started over Dallas Turner, and we know what Dallas Turner is about.
Dallas, yeah. We know I have a man crush on him. I don't even know what he even looks like. I just have a man crush on him. But it was also the Packers who, wow, I didn't know they had 2 first-round picks. So it was in the first round. They got Quay Walker, and 6 picks later, they traded up. I forgot about that. But six picks later, they got Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. So they go on the first 2 picks with Georgia guys, and then they get Christian Watson after that in the second round. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know how much longer Aaron Rodgers is going to be there, but he's going to make Christian Watson a star, and he's going to make me look really smart. You understand me? Okay, lean back. I mean, you have your reserves about North Dakota State, but we've never discussed a receiver from there.
Yeah,
right?
because the recruiters are there working at Lowe's and Home Depot.
First is Subway, now it's Lowe's and Home Depot. Like Kroger, where else you got, man?
Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Neighborhood Walmart.
I'm gonna come back to these episodes and record, like screen record this and just montage it, because I'm telling you, I'm right about that guy, Christian Watson. I promise you, man, the guy's amazing.
Okay.
And then the Texans, God knows what they were doing. I don't know. I guess they just wanted some speed. They did get your boy Christian Harris, who I don't think he can help them at all. Then they got Dameon Pierce from Florida in the 4th round. I think he's going to be a bust. I looked at his tape. I don't know why he was even in a lot of people's top 5s as far as running backs go. But they did get Jalen Petrie, who you like, at safety, and Derek Stingley. So they got a lot of speed at DB. For what? I'm not really sure, because the Colts and the Titans both have just big guys. Speaking of big guys, we already talked about Treylon Burks to the Titans. They got my boy, Malik Willis, and I'm proud that he's there, because Vrabel is a good coach, number one. And that system is prime for any quarterback to shine, because Ryan Tannehill's put up really good numbers over the last 3 years. And we know who he really is. And so I'm not saying that Malik's going to cakewalk into a position. I'm not saying that. He's going to have to earn it. But he's got Derrick Henry. That helps. And now you add Treylon Burks, who he's coming in with, so they'll be young, developing that chemistry together. I like that. Colts came in with their first pick of the 2nd round in Alec Pierce, who we already talked a little about. I like the pick. Got some speed on him, but it's really no difference between him and Michael Pittman. So I guess they're going – I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're going the old school route where you just got 2 towers on the outside, and then you got a big 6'7" tight end on the inside, and Jelani Woods, who is a absolute beast. That dude's crazy. Have you seen his tape, bro? Yeah, the dude's wild, man.
Plays for the Colts, right?
Yeah. Now he's a now he plays for the Colts, but he played at Virginia at tight end. The guy looks like a monster, like super physical, which I'm okay with, because we have a physical line. Speaking of, from Central Michigan, got Bernhard Raymond and Nick Cross, the safety out of Maryland. And I did not watch a lot of his tape at all. And going back and looking at some of his stuff, I'm like, might have something there. The Jags had a very impressive draft. Man, they go and get Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd in the 1st round, and followed up with Chad Muma out of Wyoming. One of our favorite guys. We both love him. Yeah, they're tired of Derrick Henry. They're tired of Jonathan Taylor, and they're trying to do something about it. When you draft that much.
Bro, Derrick Henry does to the Jags what Devontae Smith does to Derek Stingley.
That's right.
It makes no sense how, like, we just finished a game on Sunday. We got Derrick Henry next week. He's going to have us.
Yep. Every time. Honestly, Jonathan Taylor, he has – I don't know what he averages versus the Jags, but he usually has his biggest games of the year against the Jags.
Well, the Colts could have made the playoffs last year.
Don't. Why would you bring up that? Why would you? This has been another episode of Trick. I'm joking, but
it's just funny to watch Carson Wentz smoke it.
He did. But speaking of smoking it, we texted the other day about this. Call me crazy, but Leo Chenal going to Kansas City. I will say no more. I don't want to talk about the Chargers. They did good. It's great stuff. They ended up with Isaiah Spiller, who is another Austin Eckler, in my opinion. He's just a little bit slower. So him going to their system makes me happy personally. Because if anything, at Tricksters Podcast, I want you guys to know, like, I love teams. That's great. The Colts are my guys. But I treat it like I treat the NBA, which I like players first. And then I root for my team. I love the Celtics, but I'm a big Jason Tatum fan. I love Giannis, like a couple other guys. Isaiah Spiller, I just always liked him in college, and I think he's going to be great in their system. Another system, kind of like how Josh Allen is over there in Buffalo, where you got a big arm quarterback. You just need some backs that can carry it a couple of times, maybe on the goal line, and catch it out of the backfield, man. Give linebackers something to keep their eyes on. So very happy to see that. But, you know, a lot of good teams got even better, you know. The Raiders went and got Zamir White, which did not make any sense to me because they already have Zamir White and Brandon Jacobs. They're both power backs. They're both not that fast.
Josh Jacobs.
What did I say? Brandon Jacobs? I meant Josh Jacobs, War Eagle. But Josh Jacobs. They already got Josh Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs was a power back too, by the way. But
that motherfucker's like 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
That's a big motherfucker. Yeah,
no,
that's
like
a big.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he was like 240. That was a big motherfucker.
Okay. Just freaking huge.
Well, it was all get out, but
yeah.
If you need 3 yards, he'll
Bro,
get them.
When Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw were running that yoke in New York, it was rough.
Bro, I remember playing them on Madden. That shit used to be fucking annoying.
One gets tired, you got to deal with the other one.
That shit used to piss me off.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. The Raiders they never make sense.
They can't draft. They can't draft, bro.
They can kill it in the free agency, in trades, but drafting, they give it all back. It's like making a deposit and then withdrawing it immediately. I don't know how to coach about them. Then we already talked about Miami with 4 freaking picks in the whole draft. But clearly, y'all like what the Rams talked about when it came to picks. We did not talk about the second round for Minnesota. I did praise them on Lewis Seen, getting him at the last person out of the first round. I thought that was a great pick for them. They followed that up with Andrew Booth out of Clemson, who you gave high praise to. Ed Ingram, the offensive lineman out of LSU. God knows they can help. And then I think you pushed him out, but Brian Asamoah, the linebacker out of Oklahoma, they got him. And listen, this is what it's about because and they got Ty Chandler out of North Carolina at running back. That's nice. But looking at Brian Asamoah, like I told you, the same with Kenneth Murray, where if he ends up in the right situation, he's gonna be fine. I think that's the right situation because you got Eric Kendricks on the side of you. You got Anthony Barr. If anything, you're going to learn from those guys. You got Daniil Hunter on the line. You know, the defensive line is what it used to be, but they still got a pretty good pass rush. So I really like that pick, bro. I really do for them.
They're solid.
Yeah. And then you got the Patriots, who I don't care who they chose. When they said Bailey Zappi, watch out, Mac Jones. If you think you're safe, they got another one. All right. I'm crazy. Bailey was in my top 5 for a reason. When Bill Belichick drafts a guy that's in my top 5 quarterbacks, I feel good. It's kind of confirmation already. I don't even need to see him. But I know you talk about the system they're in and how much they air it out, blah, blah, blah. Dude threw 64 touchdowns, man.
Well, they drafted a offensive lineman from Chattanooga in the first round.
That's right. Cole Strange. Not affiliated with Doctor Strange. Ah. You ain't gonna give it to me?
One more, bro.
That's it? Okay.
One more.
So Bailey Zappi, hide your kids, hide your wife, Mac Jones, because I think he's gonna take your job, fam. The
Hey,
kid.
if I
Have
hear
you
hide your
seen his
kids and hide
arm?
your wife out of your mouth one more time,
Hey,
I won't put up with this, bro. I really won't.
bro.
I woke up this morning as a Christian.
No, you didn't. Anyway, bro, Bailey, I know you just want to hate him. You do
I
this.
don't.
What you're good at is, even though you dislike players, what you've been developing, John, and I'm proud of you. Because once a player puts on, you end up liking him. Like, you didn't like Josh Allen at first. Now you can have his kids. Because they have signs that can do that now, I think. I don't think
but scientifically, I'm not sure if we're capable, but I'm willing.
Well, okay, so let's get back to the draft. What were we saying?
We were talking about how Bailey Zappi has no game.
All right. He's got one of the biggest arms, if not the biggest, in the entire draft. And the kid's extremely accurate. He threw like 72% completion rate in college with 63, 64 touchdowns. What do you want? What do you want? But anyway, okay. All right. I don't care what system conference you're in, bro. That is extremely impressive. The Saints won my heart. Why? I told you last episode, Chris Olave. They followed that up with Trevor Penning. Man, yeah. Those two picks alone, I don't know these other guys they drafted in the 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Those two alone, Saints are primed for greatness. I got them. I know Brady came back this year, but I got them winning that division the next couple of years. The Giants, yeah, we're both young a lot. The Giants came in with Kayvon Thibodeau first round, as well as Evan Neal, which is pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. Then they go and get Wan'Dale Robinson, the wide receiver out of Kentucky, who's solid. I don't see anybody else that pops off the sheet. Hopefully some sleepers there, but I like what the Giants did with the first 2 picks. And then we all know the story of the Jets. Day one, they had a big day. But clearly they went after names, but the names are good names. Because the first day you get Ahmad Gardner, you get Garrett Wilson, and you get Jermaine Johnson. Then the next day, in round 2, you get Breece Hall, who is the fastest, if he's the fastest running back in the draft, right?
I don't know.
Let me double check, because I wrote down in my notes his.
They got Michael Carter last year too,
who has game, by the way. I just knew how good he was going to be. But let's see. Running backs, Breece Hall ran a 4.39. So not the fastest. Kenneth Walker ran a 4.38. But amongst my top 5, he was the 2nd fastest by a hair. So speed coming their way. Jets have a lot of it. I'm very happy for them, and I think that the only way that they can screw this up is if Zach Wilson decides to keep looking like a Disney star. So anyway, Philly had some weird stuff going on. First round, pick number 13, getting Jordan Davis. Truly think he was going to be there for a while. He may not have made it out the first round, but I think they reached there, and there was a lot of talent, including Devin Lloyd, on the board at that time. And then your boy, who I think he was number 1 for you, Nakobe Dean, he went the 3rd round, bro. So apparently a lot of NFL teams saw what I saw, which is that although he had a lot of stats, he probably had the best stats. Didn't he win the linebacker award for the year?
I think he did, but from what I saw, he declined surgery on his shoulder. And a lot of teams put a lot of stock in that.
I doubt that. I doubt that. If anything, surgery would hurt him in the long run. But I don't know. I don't know that. I didn't do the research on that, and my apologies on that. But even with a messed up shoulder, whatever it might be, we've seen players that have been questionable on the health side that still get drafted in the first round. So I don't know how much stock they put into that, but what I do know is, again, stat sheet filler, but Nakobe, to me, he didn't even make my top 5. I just don't see it, bro.
They need more help in other areas than linebacker.
Yeah, but they also had a chance to get Devin Lloyd. And they also haven't had a linebacker since Jordan Hicks, and even he was old at the time. So, and I don't know how many years ago that was. So you get a guy like Devin Lloyd that's going to be there for 4 years regardless, you can build around that. You know, and then at 13, there was still a lot of good DBs. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But we're going to let that one go. Steelers, we already discussed. Very, very happy with their draft. Very excited to see them on the field, man. Seattle, I'm not going to talk about because I'm still upset.
Now that Big Ben's gone, I'll be able to. Now that Big Ben's gone, I'll be able to watch the Steelers without like hate in my heart.
Seriously,
I've hated Big Ben for as long as I can remember. Even before he raped, I hated him.
Was that confirmed ever?
No, but he did it.
You think so? I never hated Ben, but I never liked him. And then when some of the stuff started coming out about his relationships with players and basically how spoiled he was in organization, I just did not respect him. So I don't dislike him. I just don't respect him. And I think he got just way too much credit for a lot of early success behind a big team. Mm-hmm. You know, when you walk into Jerome Bettis and Hines Ward and all that, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark, you know, James Harrison. When you walk into a team like that, what'd you really do? You know, there's a couple of guys that are in the league like that now, but shout out to this Seahawks for getting Kenneth Walker. That's great for them because they've had trouble at running back for a while. And then, my friend, San Francisco drafted Drake Jackson. I'm telling you right now, that boy's going to be a star. They already got a good defense going. Mm-hmm. They put him on the other side of Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Be a long day, bro.
Yeah, Fred Warner over there. Yeah. Anyway. Logan Hall to Tampa Bay. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. I didn't see anything else. You know, we talked about Malik Willis with the Titans. Oh, yeah, the Commanders. We already talked about the Commanders having Jahan Dotson, but they also went and picked up Brian Robertson, who is going to play behind Antonio Gibson, but he's a power back. So I can see him in goal line situations. Even though Antonio's good on the goal line, he's still more of a scat back, like a shifty guy. So it's just
Antonio. Nice. I had Antonio on my fantasy team, and right, he gets down the side of that 10-yard line, he's coming out of the game, bro.
Yeah. So they got a power back that can get it in on the goal line. They got the dynamic receiver on the outside. They just got to fix their quarterback situation, but very happy for them. And that wraps it up on the draft, man. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tricksters Podcast. We really appreciate the support and growing the community. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on Apple iTunes Podcast. You can find us pretty much anywhere a podcast can exist. Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. You know, if you have any comments, if you want to join the community, you can find us on Facebook as well. Yes, we are a little bit older. Old people do things on Facebook. That's okay. It's okay. You can follow us on Facebook. We have a page there for questions, involvement, anything there. Again, Instagram as well. I'm always posting to our story, posting reels before and after episodes that clip out good parts of what we do here at Tricksters Podcast. So, again, appreciate your support for watching. Catch you guys soon.